Hey everybody, this is Fred with C5 Consulting. I want to talk today about an issue that I see time and again with a lot of my clients, and that is the Flash Player update hoax. What happens is a user will visit a website that's been compromised, and they'll get redirected to another page that tells them that their Flash Player is out of date or a new version is available, and click here to update. And so the user downloads what they think is a Flash Player update file or installer, and it turns out that it's actually just installing a bunch of adware or malware on the user's machine. So let's take a look at what happens. Here I've clicked intentionally on a link that I know routes me to a compromised site. And you can see that the domain name of the website in the address bar will change several times, then it will be something random that's not at all what you were on in the first place. And then it'll give you the prompt to download the Flash Player Updater. And if you click OK, it'll come up in your downloads, and you'll see this disk image file named something simple like player.dmg. You'll notice that it's only 100 kilobytes or so in size, so very small. If you go to your downloads folder, you'll see that disk image sitting there. Now if we bring up Get Info, we can flip open the triangle for more info and see where that actually came from. And you see that's not anywhere near the Adobe site where Flash Player should be downloaded from. That's from an Amazon Web Service file sharing site. And so we'll go ahead and double click this file to open it just to take a look. In your case, I recommend throwing it away immediately. But we'll take a look here. It's not going to hurt anything for what we're doing. So you'll notice that it says Player 436 in this case, which is not at all official. And if you look at the site where it came from that the system will show you, you notice it's not from Adobe either. So far we have several indicators that this is not an official download. Then we open the installer itself, and you'll see it doesn't even say Flash Player, it just says Player. Then you go down here and you look and see where this kind of questionable grammar and capitalization and basically scare tactics are what these people use to try to get you to make sure that you have the latest Flash Player. In this case, this installer has a cancel and a next, and you'll notice that the cancel button, if I click on it, nothing happens. So I can go up here and I can choose quit from the program menu. But again, if I go to cancel, I can't do anything. The cancel button is basically disabled. They want you to only click on next, which will walk you through the installation. In our case, we'll just quit out of it and then eject this disk image and then take that disk image and just throw it away. Now keep in mind that this is just a single example of this Flash Player bogus installer. What you see may be slightly different from what I'm showing here, or significantly different. The key here is to be observant and use the clues that you're given to assess whether or not this is a legitimate installer or something that is just installing adware. So what should you do? Well, if you worry at all that your Flash Player is out of date, then you should get it directly from Adobe, the maker of Flash Player. And there are a couple of ways you can do that. One is you can go to the address directly. You can go to get.adobe.com/flashplayer. And you'll see that it brings up this screen here, which is actually at the Adobe site. If you look up top, you'll see that adobe.com is continually there. You're not rerouted to another site. And in this case, you download a disk image that's substantially larger, 22 megabytes in this case. And if we go ahead and click on that and bring it up in our downloads folder, we can do Get Info on this disk image, and you'll see that where it comes from in this case is from adobe.com, not from some random Amazon hosted file. So we open this disk image and we get a little bit more official looking icon there, install Adobe Flash Player, and you see it's got copyright Adobe. So right away everything is looking much more legit in this case. And then when we go to open the installer, the system tells us that it was downloaded actually from the Adobe site. So that's what we want. And you see the Adobe icon here. Everything else looks much more official. And this is what the Flash Player interface looks like and has looked like for quite a while now. So if you don't see that interface, that should be a tip off as well. Another method is you can use, if you already have Flash Player installed, you can use System Preferences. So in this case, I already have Flash Player installed. I can go to System Preferences from the Apple menu, and then I can click on the Updates tab. And if I click Check Now, it will actually go to the Adobe site, see what the latest version is, and tell me if I need to update. And if I do, then I can just click the Update button, and it will take me to that very same site that we went to on the previous example. A related problem I see that's not Flash Player based, but is no less confusing to a lot of users browsing the web, are these panicky alerts that you encounter that tell you that you have a virus or some other technical issue with your computer, and that you should call either Apple technical support or Microsoft technical support or just technical support to get it fixed, and that they're going to help you. And you can't usually get out of this without closing the page out because it just keeps coming up again and again and again. And if you read these, you'll see that the grammar is dodgy. It doesn't flow right. It doesn't in any way look like official correspondence. So just assess these dialogues, and if they look like they're not well written and they're not official, don't panic. You don't really actually need to call these toll-free helplines. What they'll do is they'll connect to your computer remotely after having you download a remote control app, and then they'll sort of appear to inspect your computer and tell you that you have numerous problems, and that for say $300 they'll fix it for you. And then you pay them for their service, and they'll even tell you, oh, we'll provide support for several years, 3 years, or lifetime support if you purchase the support now. And basically what they wind up doing is nothing aside from taking your money from you. So if you get on a page like this, just don't lose your head. Close the page out. If the page won't close, then quit or force quit your browser and just start over and don't go to that site again. Here's another example of one that's actually done pretty well, because they try to make it look like you've been routed to an Apple support page and that they want you to call them because your system has been compromised, you have malware. If you look across the top, you'll even see that they have basically stolen or mimicked the navigation bar for the Apple site. So they're a little bit closer, but still, if you look through it, you'll see that it's nowhere close to being an official page. And so just view all of these warnings or these alerts with a healthy dose of skepticism. In most cases, they are a hoax, and they are trying to get you to do something where they can collect money from you or install adware or malware on your computer. The bottom line here is that in both of these cases, you have, for whatever reason, wound up on a website that has been compromised, and you need to basically get out of there as soon as possible and not believe anything that you see. Alrighty, that's all I've got this time. If you found this useful, please give it a like and get subscribed. If you have any further questions, please leave a comment down below or contact me directly if you're one of my clients. If you have anything further to contribute that would be useful for everybody else, please leave a comment down below for that as well. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.